Most people think feeding a cat is simple. You pour food into a bowl, maybe add a treat, maybe share a tiny bite from your plate, and you feel like you are doing something kind. But this is where many loving owners get something very wrong. Some feeding mistakes do not look dangerous at all. They look normal. They look caring. They look like small habits that could not possibly matter. And yet, those quiet little habits can slowly damage your cat's kidneys, weight, digestion, energy, and even lifespan. That is what makes this topic so serious. A cat does not only eat to fill its stomach. Every meal affects the body, the brain, stress levels, hydration, and how hard the organs must work day after day. So when feeding goes wrong, the harm is often silent first. By the time many owners notice a problem, the body has been under pressure for a long time. If you have ever thought, I feed my cat every day, so I must be doing it right, comment same below. Because one of these 12 mistakes may already be happening in your home. 1. Leaving dry food out all day. Leaving dry food out all day feels generous. Your cat can eat whenever it wants. It never has to wait. And to many owners, that sounds like love. But this is where a very common mistake begins. Cats do not always eat because they are truly hungry. Sometimes they eat because the food is there. Sometimes they eat because they are bored. Sometimes eating becomes part of a habit, not a real need. And when that happens every day, the body starts to change in quiet ways. Your cat may slowly gain weight without you noticing at first. A little extra fat may not look scary, but in a cat's body, that extra weight can put pressure on the joints, stress the organs, and increase the risk of serious problems like diabetes and poor movement later on. The deeper problem is that constant grazing can blur your cat's natural eating rhythm. Food stops being a real meal. It becomes background behavior. A better approach is to give measured meals at set times, usually 2 to 3 times a day, and remove leftovers after about 20 minutes. Because sometimes the kindest feeding habit is not giving more access. It is giving more structure. 2. Guessing portions instead of measuring them. A lot of cat owners do not really measure food. They look at the bowl. They pour a little more. They guess. And because cats are small, that guess can become a very big mistake. What looks like just a little extra to you can mean too many calories every single day for your cat. Over time, that extra food does not disappear. It turns into body fat, more pressure on the joints, more strain on the urinary system, and a much higher risk of obesity, diabetes, and liver problems. The hard part is that this mistake often comes from love. Your cat cries. Your cat follows you. Your cat acts like it is starving, so you give more. But a loud cat is not always a hungry cat. Sometimes your cat is asking out of habit, boredom, or because it learned that crying changes your mind. That is why feeding by emotion can quietly become feeding by harm. The safest habit is simple. Measure every meal with a proper scoop or, even better, a kitchen scale, and match the amount to your cat's age, size, and activity level. Because with cats, close enough is often not close enough at all. 3. Changing food too fast. A lot of owners change a cat's food in one day. Maybe the old bag ran out. Maybe a new brand looked healthier. Maybe your cat seemed bored with the old flavor. It feels like a small change. But to your cat's stomach, it can feel like a shock. A cat's digestive system is sensitive. The bacteria in the gut get used to one kind of food. So when a new food suddenly replaces the old one, that balance can break fast. The result may look like vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, or refusal to eat. And that last part is where this mistake becomes truly dangerous. If a cat refuses food for even a short time, especially an overweight cat, the body can start sending too much fat to the liver for energy. That can lead to a serious condition called fatty liver disease, and it can become life-threatening. So this is not just about a picky stomach. It is about protecting a body that does not handle sudden change well. The safer way is to mix the new food in slowly over 7 to 14 days, giving the stomach time to adjust. With cats, slow change is often the safest change. 4. Feeding only dry food and ignoring hydration. Dry food is easy. It is convenient, clean, and simple to leave in a bowl. That is why many owners think it is enough on its own. But this is where a very quiet problem begins. Cats are not natural big drinkers. Their bodies came from desert hunters that got much of their water from prey. So even when a bowl of water is sitting nearby, many cats still do not drink enough to make up for a dry diet. And dry food contains very little moisture. That means a cat can look normal on the outside while living in a mild state of dehydration day after day. Over time, that silent strain can put pressure on the kidneys and urinary system. It can also raise the risk of painful urinary problems that many owners do not connect to food until much later. The scary part is that your cat may not look thirsty. It may just seem fine. A safer habit is to add wet food every day and make water more appealing with a fountain or several fresh water spots around the house. Because for cats, hydration is not a small detail. It is part of survival. If your cat barely drinks unless the water is moving, comment 6 below. 5. Feeding dog food to a cat. Some owners think dog food is close enough. Maybe the cat stole a few bites. Maybe you ran out of cat food. Maybe it just seemed easier to use one kind of food for both pets. Once in a while by accident is not usually the real problem. The danger starts when it becomes a habit. Cats are not small dogs. Dogs can handle a wider range of foods. Cats cannot. A cat's body is built as an obligate carnivore, which means it depends on certain animal-based nutrients in a much more serious way. Dog food does not give cats enough of some of those key nutrients, including taurine. And taurine is not a small detail. Without enough of it, a cat can develop serious heart problems and permanent eye damage. That means a food that seems almost the same can slowly harm parts of the body your cat cannot afford to lose. This mistake is dangerous because it looks practical, but species matters. Pet food is not just pet food. A cat needs food made for a cat because the wrong bowl can quietly become the wrong future. 6. Ignoring age and medical needs. A kitten, an adult cat, and an older cat should not all eat the same way. But many owners keep buying the same food year after year because the cat is used to it, and the routine feels easy. That can become a quiet mistake. A kitten needs more energy and different nutrition to grow. An adult cat needs balance. An older cat may need food that is easier to digest, better for the joints, or gentler on the kidneys. And a cat with a health problem may need an even more specific diet. So the issue is not just whether your cat is eating. The issue is whether the food still matches the body your cat has now. This is where many loving owners fall behind without meaning to. They keep feeding the cat they remember, not the cat standing in front of them today. And when that mismatch lasts too long, it can lead to weight gain, weakness, poor muscle condition, or extra stress on organs that are already aging. The better habit is to adjust food as your cat moves through life, especially in the senior years or after any medical diagnosis, because good feeding is not only about what your cat likes, it is about what your cat now needs. 7. Feeding too much tuna or fish-based food. A lot of cats go wild for tuna. The smell is strong, the taste is rich, and when your cat runs to the bowl faster than ever, it is easy to think, "Great, I found the perfect food." But that is not always true. A cat can love a food that is not good as a daily habit. Too much tuna or too much fish-based food can make your cat very picky. After a while, some cats start refusing other foods that are more balanced and better for the body. They get hooked on one strong smell, one strong taste, and one narrow kind of meal. That may sound harmless at first, but when a cat keeps chasing one favorite food and turns away from complete nutrition, the body can slowly miss what it really needs. And in some cases, too much tuna over time may bring other health risks you do not want building up quietly in the background. So tuna should not be the center of your cat's whole diet. It should be occasional, because the food your cat gets most excited about is not always the food that protects your cat best. 8. Letting treats become a second diet. Treats feel tiny. That is why this mistake grows so easily. One treat because your cat looked cute. One because you got home late. One because your cat cried. One more because it felt too mean to say no. And little by little, treats stop being a small reward. They become a second diet. This is a problem because many treats are not built to carry your cat's nutrition. They are made to be exciting, not complete. So when treats start taking up too much of the day, your cat may gain weight, eat less of the real meal, and slowly drift away from the balanced food the body actually needs. That is the deeper danger. The cat looks happy. The cat looks eager. The cat may even seem more interested in food than ever. But excitement is not the same as health. A good rule is to keep treats small and limited, and make sure they stay under about 10% of daily calories. Because a treat should support the diet, it should never quietly replace it. If your cat starts ignoring dinner but still runs for treats, comment 8 below. 9. Believing cats need cow's milk. A lot of people still think milk is a sweet treat for cats. It looks gentle. It looks classic. It even looks loving. But for many adult cats, cow's milk is not a comfort food at all. After kittenhood, many cats stop handling lactose well. That means the milk sugar in cow's milk can be hard for the body to break down. And instead of giving pleasure, it can lead to stomach cramps, gas, diarrhea, and fluid loss. That is what makes this mistake so misleading. Your cat may seem interested. Your cat may lick it happily. But enjoying something for a moment does not mean the body can handle it safely. This is one of those old ideas that survived because it looks harmless. But your cat's stomach does not care about the picture people grew up with. Fresh water is the safer choice. And if you want to give something special, it should be made for cats, not copied from human habits. 10. Sharing toxic leftovers and giving cooked bones. This mistake often starts with kindness. You are eating. Your cat looks up at you. Maybe it reaches a paw toward your plate. So you share a little bite because it feels loving, and you do not want your cat to feel left out. But human food can turn dangerous very fast for cats. Some foods that seem normal in your kitchen can seriously harm a cat's body. Onion, garlic, and chives can damage red blood cells. Grapes and raisins can trigger sudden kidney failure. Chocolate, alcohol, and xylitol can lead to seizures, liver damage, or death. And then there are cooked bones. Many people think bones are natural for cats, but cooked bones are not safe. Once cooked, they can become brittle and break into sharp pieces. Those pieces can cut the mouth, get stuck in the throat, or tear the stomach and intestines from the inside. That is why this mistake is so frightening. The cat is not asking, "Is this safe?" The cat is only reacting to smell, habit, and curiosity. So never use your cat's interest as proof that a food is okay. The safest rule is simple. Do not share table scraps unless you know with full certainty that the food is cat safe. Because one careless bite can become a medical emergency. 11. Using deep bowls or dirty plastic bowls. A lot of owners focus on the food and forget the bowl. But the bowl matters more than people think. If the bowl is too deep or too narrow, your cat's whiskers may keep rubbing against the sides while eating. That may not sound serious to a human, but whiskers are highly sensitive tools that help cats read space, movement, and touch. So when they are pressed again and again during meals, eating can start to feel stressful or uncomfortable. That is why some cats do strange things around the bowl. They pull food onto the floor. They only eat from the center. They walk away even when food is still there. It is not always stubborn behavior. Sometimes the bowl itself feels wrong. Plastic bowls can create a second problem. Over time, small scratches in plastic can trap bacteria and make the bowl harder to clean fully. In some cats, that can lead to chin acne or repeated irritation around the mouth. A much better choice is a shallow, wide bowl made from ceramic or stainless steel, cleaned every day. Because sometimes the feeding mistake is not the food. It is the thing holding it. 12. Putting food and water in stressful places. Sometimes the food is fine, but the place is wrong. Many owners put the bowl wherever it is convenient for the home, not wherever it feels safe for the cat. And that can quietly change how your cat eats. If food sits near the litter box, your cat may feel uneasy. In nature, animals do not want to eat near waste. If water is placed right beside food, some cats may drink less because their instincts do not like water too close to what feels like prey. And if the bowls are in a noisy hallway, near constant footsteps, or in a crowded spot with other pets, mealtime can start to feel tense instead of safe. That stress matters. A stressed cat may eat too fast, eat too little, walk away often, or even vomit after meals. In a multi-cat home, one cat may also avoid the bowl simply because another cat makes the area feel risky. A better setup is calm, quiet, and separate, because your cat is not only eating food there, Your cat is also deciding whether that place feels safe enough to survive in. Feeding your cat is not just a daily habit. It is one of the most powerful health choices you make again and again. The hard truth is that many dangerous mistakes do not look dangerous in the moment. They look normal. They look loving. They look like routine. But small feeding habits can shape your cat's weight, kidneys, digestion, stress, and future in ways most owners never see soon enough. That is why understanding matters so much. Sometimes protecting your cat does not begin with a big rescue. Sometimes it begins with a better bowl, a better schedule, safer food, and a deeper respect for what your cat's body truly needs.